Good afternoon. This is Ramblin' Rusty. I am here at the Virginia Museum of the Civil War. This is a very important museum. It depicts what happened here on May 15, 1864. On that date, there were the battles, of course, had been going on for a while here in the Shenandoah Valley and on up at Manassas. And so right now I'm entering the Hall of Valor. It says dedicated to the valor part of all young Americans in defense of their country, as exemplified by the cadets of Virginia Military Institute in the Battle of New Market, May 15, 1864. We're going to go on through here to the military story of the Civil War. Now I'm going to be going through fairly fast. It's quite a bit here. And as I go around the area here, it shows the different things that took place during the Civil War. And this first mural on this side gives an idea of what Richmond looked like in 1861. Like I say, I'm going to be going around and then they deal with Charleston. Charleston was a very important thing because here some of the first shots were fired, and it says that the Union is dissolved. So that's when the South succeeded from the North. Here they talk about the first Manassas battle. And of course, during that battle, many people from D.C. came out that they expected to see the rebels sent away quickly. Well, it didn't happen. There was a Peninsula campaign from March to July 1864. Then we have the Second Battle of Manassas. And the Confederates again had victory at the Second Battle of Manassas. Fredericksburg. Fredericksburg was a very vicious thing. You need to take time and visit Fredericksburg. I will go there sometime. And here is the carnage following the infamous stone wall that was fighting going on there. We have Chancellorsville. The next section deals with that. We have General Hooker in charge of the Union forces. And Lee executed the most daring offensive action of his career. And so you can look up and read more about that. Grant's Virginia plan. In other words, General U.S. Grant, and he was a hard man. He was a lot. You can read some stories about him. Here's some different of the shells from there. Here we have the wilderness thing, dealing with New Market, Spotsylvania, so on and so forth. Cold Harbor, visiting there. Petersburg, if you read a lot about that, and Jubal Early. In June of 1864, Lee, hoping to divert Grant's attention, dispatched a small army by Jubal Early. That's sort of interesting because where I grew up was a place called Earlysville, named after Jubal Early. And here we finally get to Appomattox at the courthouse. And there's copies of the thing on April 9, 1865. It ended at Appomattox. I will see about going there and doing a series there. Richmond in 1865 really looked a lot different than it did in 1861. And in fact, Abraham Lincoln himself visited that place. Dealing with the Battle of Newmarket, we're going down here, going downstairs right now to see some other exhibits. Anyway, the cadets of VMI were called to help out because the Union forces were coming there. They marched down from VMI. It's about 60, 70 miles away, I don't remember exactly. And they were called to battle. Well, at first they were hoping that they would not call them to battle. There were a total of 157 cadets, 257 cadets marched here. And here you see different cities in the area: Strasburg, Port Report, Harrisonburg, Mount Jackson, Woodstock, Front Royal, Winchester, on up that way. So they came down the valley from their school, 257 total. They were not going to use the young fellows because the average age was about 16, 17 years old. These young kids going to Virginia Military Institute. And so they were called in anyway. So of the 257 that were called in, 47 were wounded. And then, besides that, 10 more were killed. And here I'll do another section of this video. We'll go out and visit the area that they fought in. There is the fatal orchard. They went through a small apple orchard. All right, I'm going to go back up and go around so you can see outside a little bit. Then I'm going to go in and see a film that they have set up. But anyway, they call it the fatal orchard because at that time, many of the, not only the cadets were killed or wounded during that time, and then there was another section. They had to go through a wheat field. And it was muddy. It had been raining. It was not a good time to go through there. They call that the field of lost shoes because many of the cadets lost their shoes going through there. Going to go on up here. There's a lot of beautiful paintings on the wall. And so we'll take a look at those. Then I want to go out. I'll end this section of the vlog or podcast. And then I will go outside and take pictures at the different houses. And here's a view of the battlefield. And there to the left is, see those trees, just beyond that is the Shenandoah River. And so, anyway, I will be going in next to see the Field of Lost Shoes, which is a story of the Battle of Newmarket. This is Ramblin' Rusty signing off for now. So long.